Hello, welcome again to your practice. When you're ready, coming down onto your back, starting in constructive resting. So again, just take your time to meet the floor, have the floor meet you, feeling relaxed through the soles of the feet and the legs and thighs, depending on how you're feeling, just as we're progressing, moving through some more leg strengthening practices each day. You may feel like to be tired in this posture. If that's happening at all, you can just step your feet wide, let your knees drop in towards each other. Maybe the feet further away, and then that should just kind of allow the bones to just naturally rest. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Let your shoulders meet the floor. Bringing hands maybe onto the body or just down at your side. If your chest is feeling congested at all, just opening up the palms towards the sky. And then landing your attention down into the soles of your feet. Relaxing the ankles. Notice if there happens to be a little more weight in one foot versus the other, or one heel versus the other. Feeling the legs resting heavy as you kind of trace your attention upward from the ankles to the knees. And the knees down towards the hips, feeling the weightedness of the pelvis. Feeling the breath moving softly in the space of the low belly and the low back. If your hands are not already on your rib cage, bringing them there. Taking a few wide breaths into your hands. And either continuing with that or beginning your abdominal massage. Release of the diaphragm underneath the rib cage, finding space to breathe in, and as you breathe out, just applying a little bit of pressure. Remaining present with whatever it is you're doing right now. So if your mind's into wandering or thinking, just bring it back into the palms of your hands, the tips of your fingers, the spaciousness of your breath. Just finishing that, if you're doing the massage, up the right, down your left. Maybe just finding some full circles with the palms of your hands just around the belly. Always really great practice just to touch in on the belly. It's often a place that we can sort of carry a lot of residual stress from overthinking or emotions or just the body kind of reacting to day-to-day activities and interactions. So just that attention to the soft part of the belly can be really helpful in down-regulating the nervous system. And then when you're ready, just bringing the knees in towards your chest. Just a little bit of rocking from side to side on your low back. Bringing the feet back down. Moving towards a bridge posture, so tucking the tailbone, lengthen it towards your heels as you root through the heels. Send it toward pelvis towards your knees as you lift up. Belly's engaged here, length through the sides of the body. Maybe the shoulder blades draw towards each other. And then just take a moment, lower about halfway down, and then engage and press up again. So we'll move through that a few times. As you lower down, you're not disengaging the glutes, but you may find a little more space there. And then exhale, lift up and engage a little bit more into the back body to lift up. So just a little kind of momentary release as you come down and exhale and press back up to engage. Just notice that you're pressing into the full surface of your foot. How does it feel different when you press into the feet if you push the feet away from you? How do you feel in your spine? What if you bring the feet towards you as if you were drawing them towards your upper back? Just notice the different sensations that it offers. Nice. Take your time, lower the spine back down. Release completely. Engaging through belly, lifting right knee to stack above your hips. Press down into that left foot and lift the hips up here. So into your bridge, one-legged here. And then again, same thing, that halfway lower and lifting back up. Really finding equal weight in the upper arm bones and shoulders, but not only finding this lift just by pushing down into the hands, but really digging into that rooted foot. Just a few here. And then lower yourself down. Bring both feet down to the mat. Take a breath. Soft belly. Engaging, lifting the left knee, pressing into the right foot to lift the hips up. Halfway lower, and then rise up again. So think about growing the side waist long as you lift, pushing down through that foot. Finding a little bit of effort or support through your upper body and arms to lift you here, but mainly finding that through the backs of the legs, the glutes, the bum, down through the foot and through the right leg. And then lower that down. Step your feet wide, let the knees fall in. Take a breath here. And bringing knees in towards chest, a little bit of rocking from side to side. Massaging that low back. And then come on to your side. Come on up. We'll come into tabletop. If knees are bothersome, again, make sure you're supporting them, or even just tuck your toes and lift the knees, and you can work on this strengthening into the upper back and shoulders. Stepping the hands maybe wider, fingers wide, and then finding your cat and cow here. And I do encourage you to play with that and just notice movement, shoulders, midsection, pelvis, maybe finding circles, maybe even taking the opportunity to hover your knees and find cat and cow here. With this extra little lift, a little extra strengthening into the hands, the fingertips, and the shoulders. When you're ready, have a little bit of a lift to your tailbone for just a moment. A little bit of an exaggeration to that low back curve. Then hover and lift your knees. Push your hands as you send your hips back towards your heels. Knees are still kind of hovering here. Then lift your hips. Start to bend and walk that out, adjusting, engaging through the hands and the shoulders. Reestablishing this rootedness through the palms of your hands. Then lifting your heels up high, come onto your toes, and then sink your heels back down as you push the earth away, chest towards upper thighs, tailbone to the sky. If that feels like it's a big round in your back or your upper shoulders, bend your knees. Does that give you more length to your spine? A little bit of movement on your toes, coming high on the heels, sinking the heels down. And then when you're ready, start to walk your feet towards your hands. Can you walk a bit wider? Walk as wide as your mat, root down into the feet. Bend your knees, lift your chest so that your elbows land onto your thighs. So you're in a bit more of a squat shape here with the feet wide. And let's take a moment, bring the hands now to those thighs. Long spine. And just bring opposite shoulder to opposite knee. Just like creating a little bit of rotation and twist, a little length to the low back. Nice, and then come through center. Just walk your feet in a little bit, still a little bit wider than your hips perhaps. Sink your hips back like you're about to sit into a chair. So there's this deep hinge at your hips, deep bend in the knees and the ankles, and length through the spine and through the chest. So you've got those natural curves to your back. Think of that hinge, the tailbone, the shoulder blades in the back of your head. Reach your arms forward. Sink your hips down. We're going to take an inhale here, and as we exhale, we'll press down, rise up, fingertips all the way towards the sky, reach up, and then exhale, hands come down and circle forward. So you're back into that chair. Inhale, press and rise. Exhale, sink and lower, reaching the arms forward. So when you're here, can you find space across the chest? Rootedness, especially in those outer edges of the heels and that big toe mound still. Inner edges of the heels. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. So just a little bit of a faster pace here, just to really start to warm the hinges of the low body, warming the shoulders and the arms with a nice big circle and reach. So really intentional with this pressing down to rise up. Bringing a little bit of heat in the body. You can slow it down if that's better. You can speed it up if that's great for you too. Inhale, reach up, pausing here into your extended mountain. Maybe closing your eyes as you lengthen through the crown of your head. If the shoulders are tired, reach the arms really wide here. Exhale, hands come down at your side. And then coming to the top of your mat. Finding that comfortable distance between the feet, palms facing forward, and landing into and embodying this mountain posture. Find a little more length to your exhales and root down into your foundation. When you're ready, inhale, rise, palms to the sky. Reach up. Look up as you root down through the heels and through the feet. Engage through the back body, similar to like you would in a bridge posture as you send the hips forward, and then lift the belly to the heart to the space between your hands, gazing up. Exhale, forward fold. Arms nice and wide, hinging at those hips, bend the knees. Inhale, we'll lift and lengthen here. So maybe a little bend to your knees, finding space to the backs of the legs, wide through the sit bones, long through the crown of your head. Roll the shoulders back, feeling the belly engage to support and lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through the feet, rise the palms all the way to the sky. Extended mountain, slight back bend, root down, rise up. Exhale, coming up tall, hands at your side. Inhale, rise your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, rooting back down. Hands land, right foot steps back. Engaging, slightly drawing right hip forward, root through left. Inhale, rise, palms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Pausing here in your lunge. Taking a few breaths. Inhale, rising palms to the sky. Exhale, folding over that front hip. Hands come down towards the mat. And you're going to step your left foot back to a plank. Knees can be up or down. Take a moment there. So with this stepping back, if that felt challenging at all, when you do that, drop the back knee and then slide the foot back. So coming into your version of plank, if the knees are down, can you take that moment just to play and experiment with lifting the knees up, pressing back through the heels, and then lowering the knees down. Just a few times here, broad across the upper back, rooted through the fingertips, through the palms of the hands, breathing here. And then everybody drop your knees down, come to the tops of your feet, and then sink your chest down, draw the shoulder blades together. Belly's engaged, so we're not sinking through the belly, it's staying lifted. You're just moving through the shoulders here. So similar to what we've been doing, of drawing the shoulder blades together, pushing them away. As you draw them together, can you then slowly bend your elbows in towards your sides and come all the way down to the floor? Beautiful. Shoulder blades and elbows up towards the sky. Shoulder blades, drawing into your spine. Press into the tops of your feet. Find the outer edges of your pinky toe maybe, pressing into that. Press your pelvis down and towards the floor. And then press into your hands. Start to lift your chest. Shoulder blades are moving away from your spine. Hips lift and you're in that supported plank where we began. And space between the shoulder blades. We're going to move through that a few times. So you draw the shoulder blades together, elbows in snug, and lower yourself all the way down. Root through low body. Hands may come wider. You can decide on that. Push into the hands. Start to feel your shoulder blades move away from your spine as you broaden across the upper back to come up. And we're going to move through that a few times. So like a push-up here, obviously, You're going to come down, shoulder blades come together. So really starting to activate some of these back body muscles to lift and lower you here. It's okay if the elbows splay out to the side. We're just working to draw them together. Just really want you to focus on engaging your core and moving your shoulder blades to come up and down. The next time you're down, pause there. Rest your forehead on the mat. Let your shoulders roll back. Hands are going to still stay underneath the shoulders a little bit here. Take a few breaths into your belly. All right, then press into the tops of the feet again, into the pelvis. Draw the shoulder blades back, the shoulders roll back, and then lift the palms of your hands. Finding that squeeze behind your back, root through the pelvis, and lift your forehead. So a whole upper back, so into kind of like a baby cobra here, using the back. So can you press the pelvis in, feeling the belly engaged, and length through the spine. And then reach your arms out to your side, palms facing down, like you're making a T shape here. Reach the hands down towards your feet. Roll the shoulders back, squeezing behind the shoulder blade here. Staying rooted and long through that low body. A little more to the pinky edge of the foot. Breathing. Reach your arms back out to a T, and then reach them up overhead. Just as wide as it feels comfortable here. Bring your hands back. They're floating still underneath your shoulders. Still floating above the mat. Your chin is not lifted here. You're lengthening through the back of your neck. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. So you're still gazing down towards the floor. Hands come down to your mat. Press in, come up towards a tabletop, and then sink back towards a child's pose. Let your forehead come down, maybe some space between your knees. Elbows can be soft or arms reaching. Inhaling, coming forward and up towards tabletop. Tuck those toes under, come into your downward facing dog. Take a moment to just kind of move around and pedal through that a little. Maybe hands wider if the shoulders are getting tired, gripping into those fingertips. Also can always drop down to your knees. Take your time, start to walk your hands towards, your feet towards your hands, coming into your forward fold. And a little bend in your knees here. Distribute the weight. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Grow it long and tall. Exhale, come back down into forward fold. And then root through the feet, rise the palms. Exhale, hands down at your side. Just take a moment to land, embody your mountain. Inhale, rising palms, rooting down, lifting the chest, the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, lower. Left foot stepping way back. Drawing that hip slightly forward, engaging that glute, root down through the front foot. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hands to heart. Coming into your lunge on the other side. Take a moment just to kind of establish a rootedness, stability here. palms to the sky. Exhale, folding over that front hip. We're going to bring the hands down. We're going to step that foot back. So you may be able to press into the palms and kind of drag that right heel behind you, or drop your left knee down and swing and pull that leg back. Let's meet in a plank position. Knees up or down, you decide. Take your time. Let's lower the knees if they're not there already. Staying engaged through upper body and through back. And then lower yourself down. Remember, drawing those shoulder blades together as you come all the way down to the floor. Tops of the feet into the mat, forehead rests to the mat as well. Pelvis pressing in, so feeling the low body grow long and rooted through the front side, pressing it down. Belly is even slightly engaged here. Take an inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head, begin to lift your forehead. Roll the shoulders back, drawing shoulder blades back, maybe pressing into the hands a little bit here, and then float your hands. Reach the hands out to your side. Palms facing down, bring them down towards your feet. Roll the shoulders back. Root through the low body. Think about length to the back of your neck. Breathing as you reach the arms wide and up overhead. Imagine that you could grab onto something and pull that towards your shoulders. Drawing elbows towards side waist, shoulder blades drawing in. Inhale, reach overhead, wide palms. Exhale, grab that as you pull it towards your shoulders. Allow that to be what lifts you here as you root through the low body. Inhale, you can lower slightly as you reach. Exhale, root and rise through the upper back. So using the back muscles to lift you here. Strength of the belly as it's engaging. Pausing the next time you have your elbows at your side. Bringing the hands down to the floor. Press into the hands and start to lift your chest. All right, and then bend your elbows as much as you need to so you're not pinching in your low back. Maybe you step your hands a little bit wider. And then can you roll your shoulders back? Roll them back, press through the palms, lift the chest. And then still feel this sense of drawing the pubic bone forward and the belly is engaged and the spine is long. If this is too much for your back, just come forward or even come onto your elbows. And then exhale, we're going to lower all the way down. Bring your hands to the mat and your forehead to the back of your hands, your elbows wide. And just taking a few breaths here. And then coming up with hands underneath your shoulders. Lengthen the legs away from you, pressing down. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. And then exhale as you come up to your baby cobra. So let's pause here for a moment and just feel this shape out. Feel this posture. Can you feel really light through the hands as if they were just kind of grazing the floor? Shoulder blades drawing back. And then exhale, lower yourself down. So move through that a few times. And can you feel that the lift is happening from the back of your body, from the length to your spine, the rootedness to your low body? It's not coming from a push into your hands. Staying lifted here, just about halfway to your kind of full lift. And then we're going to press into the hands and engage your belly, lift your hips as if you're moving to that extended plank or extended table, supported plank. Tops of the feet are into the mat and bellies engaged. Shoulders are spacious across the upper back. And then we're going to press into the tops of the feet and lift the knees. Push the floor away as you draw the belly in. So finding a plank posture on the tops of your feet. Then drop your knees. Let the back and hips rest forward. Draw your shoulder blades back. Draw the upper arm bones, kind of wrap them around towards the back. Remember that opening of the jar or the lid outward, staying rooted through the fingertips. If this is too much, just stay lifted through the hips and just working to draw them forward. Draw belly in as you lift your hips, and then press to the tops of your feet. Come to that plank position here, and then lower that down. Come all the way down to your belly again, hands to the mat, forehead to the back of your hands. Take a few breaths. And then hands back under your shoulders again. Let's tuck your toes, press into your hands, come into that supported plank position here with the knees down. And then when you're ready, lift your hips, come into your downward facing dog. Move around, just explore here. You're always welcome to come down to your knees into that heart melting posture. Just explore. And then when you're ready, come down to your knees. We'll just press to the top of one of your hands and just maybe rock from side to side. And then switch hands. Nice release from that, swinging the legs around in front of you. We're going to come down onto your right side. So right arm's reaching out, head's resting down, shoulders stacked, hips stacked, knees stacked. Left arm reaches past your right palm and then glides across your arm, across your chest, and open that up towards a twist. Take a few breaths here. If it feels good to just be in this place of stillness, hanging in this shape, then go for that. If it feels good to just do a few more rotations where you reach and draw it across and then open again, you're welcome to move a little here. Explore different ways for that upper arm to just kind of rest. If it's not totally touching the floor, you can move it around and get various stretch sensations in your armpit and side body, chest. Find a few circles to the wrist of your left hand. In both directions. Full breath in. And exhale, just releasing from that. We'll take that to the other side, so onto your left. Just rolling over. Stacking shoulders, hips, and knees. Reach your right hand beyond and then slide it across your chest and open that out. Doing that a few times, or if just hanging out in the stillness felt really good, just finding that, finding various stretches to the armpit and side body here. Maybe exploring areas of tension in the shoulder and just finding ways to adjust the elbow or the hand to release some of that tension. Find some circles to your right wrist. Full breath in. And releasing that back. Beginning to just roll over onto your back. Resting into constructive resting with knees bent, either knees together or space between. Maybe extending into your full Shavasana, bringing the floor to meet you if anything is tender or feeling like a little extra support would be ideal. Relaxing the face, the eyes. Softening the space around the outer jaw and the ears. And just take a moment to notice the furthest sound that you can hear. And then begin to find a sound that feels a little closer to your body. And then gathering that inward, can you notice the sound of your breathing? Relax the shoulders. Inviting the arms to just be as heavy as they are. Breath relaxed, spacious. Pelvis relaxed, spacious. Legs relaxed, spacious. Whole body relaxed, spacious. Feeling the breath as it nudges against the container of your skin. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Either staying as you are or finding gentle movements that will bring you up to a seat. And bringing your hands together to your heart center. In a gesture of gratitude to this practice, to the earth that supports you, feeling the weight of your body. And gratitude to the space and the spaciousness of your breath. And gratitude to the space and the spaciousness of the air around you. Taking a full breath into your heart space. Exhaling to empty. May all beings everywhere have a sense of peace, spaciousness, and happiness. And may our words, our thoughts, and our actions in some way contribute to that spaciousness, to that sense of freedom and happiness. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.